So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a sketch with me, paint with me video. I decided to show my sketching process because for this painting I had actually considered tracing the entire sketch just because I just wanted to focus on the watercolor aspect, and a lot of times it can get a little bit unmotivating when the sketch kind of looks bad and the watercolor painting just probably won't look very good even though the techniques might be fine. I'm using a reference of Hydrae to sketch because I was actually drawing my sister's character prior to realizing he kind of looked like mine, and ended up drawing my character all over. But yeah, I find with sketches for paintings, for watercolor paintings in particular, because the medium is transparent, it's kind of imperative that you get a good sketch down, at least for me. If not, if the eye looks weird or something, I find that I can't really render it in the way that I'd like because the medium is transparent. It's a bit different with acrylic where I feel like I can sculpt in features, but for the sketching I was trying my best to focus on the large shapes, and I think it turned out really well. I'm quite happy with it. And how I transferred it was by using kind of a big graphite stick, and I traced over it, which you can kind of see here. And that's the technique that I like to use when I'm not sure if I'm gonna waste my watercolor paper because this sketch is so bad. I'm actually not bad at sketching, I tend to get a little bit camera shy when I'm filming, and that can usually result in a kind of ugly painting. I want to take my time, which is kind of why I skip around a lot in the video. Right now I'm doing the wet on wet technique with some Daniel Smith paints, but I do kind of skip to a very rendered part later in the video, and that's just because when I'm drawing, which was another reason why I had wanted to trace, the actual drawing will be skewed for me, obviously, because it's laying flat on a table. It can be difficult to actually see what you're actually drawing, and so I think his hair is a little bit too big in the end. But yeah, I really think tracing is a good technique, and it's useful to know. If you don't agree with tracing or you don't like it, then that's fine. I have no problem with it at all. So I would disagree there, but I am happy that at least this sketch was a little bit improved here. I'm using are Daniel Smith paints, like I mentioned before. Usually I use these Kuretake Gansai paints, which don't layer very well, nor do I think they're supposed to be honest. That's not the intended use for these watercolors because they're not Western watercolors, and so I really like those, but I decided to use the Daniel Smith ones to kind of get more practice with heavy layering. The paper I'm using is the Canson XL watercolor paper. Obviously this paper is quite cheap, so it wasn't doing super well towards the end with the skin. I found it was buckling a lot and was not holding the layers very well, which I haven't really had that problem before, but that's probably because I haven't done an intensive layered piece with the Daniel Smith paints. I've really only done paintings with the Kuretake paints on them, but it ended up working out fine anyways. Tried to include some real-time parts, but because my camera setup isn't very good, I do skip around a lot in the speed paint, so I'm sorry if that's kind of disappointing in terms of seeing my process, but it's really just a matter of being really patient and continuing to layer and layer. I would like to do a watercolor painting where I kind of take days to finish it. I have not done one of those yet. I usually complete them in a couple hours, so they're more like a study or a sketch instead of a full-on piece of artwork. I also used a big square brush to paint this because I had painted like a slice of cake from life recently using it, and it was a lot of fun, and so that was really freeing and I really enjoyed enjoyed using it on the face, so I probably will continue to do that. I ended up at the end outlining it with like this terracotta shade from the Gansai set, just because those paints are quite opaque, and it ended up working out well, and I think that kind of tied everything together. But yeah, that's basically it for this one. I hope everybody is doing well, and I will see you in the next video.